Hello friends, welcome back to our video lecture series on course title Fluid Mechanics 2. In the previous lecture, we have started our new topic, gradually varied flow, and we have discussed introduction and assumptions what we are going to make while analyzing the gradually varied flow, that is GVF. In this lecture, we are going to discuss dynamic equation, which is also known as differential equation of gradually varied flow. So we will derive that equation, but as usual, before proceeding, we will revise our previous lecture what we have discussed. We have discussed basic definition of gradually varied flow, which is defined as if the flow properties are going to change over the long distance of the channel. In case of non-uniform flow, then it is said to be a gradually varied flow. We have discussed different assumptions what we are going to make. Bottom slope of the channel is very small, that is weight component is negligible, and channel is prismatic, that means that channel properties will remain constant like say roughness coefficient or area of flow. Pressure distribution is hydrostatic, that means that we are going to make use of law of hydrostatic. Energy correction factor is unity, that means that alpha will be equal to 1, that somehow we are considering uniform flow. Flow is steady and therefore discharge is constant, so our Q is going to constant over the time. The roughness coefficient is independent from the depth of flow, that means that we are going to make use of Manning's equation and Chase's equation for the analysis of gradually varied flow, because both are valid, as we are considering roughness coefficient will be independent from the depth of flow and going to remain constant along the length of the channel, because as we are considering GVF in which depth of flow or velocity is going to change over the length of the channel, then obviously this equation is going to become invalid. But if we are considering that this roughness coefficient is independent from the depth of flow, then obviously this both the equation will be applicable and can be used to compute this slope of energy line, where SF is the slope of energy line. Now let's proceed to start the derivation for the dynamic equation of GVF, or it is also termed as differential equation of GVF. So let us consider a short reach of the channel in which gradually varied flow is taking place. So if I am considering this shorter reach, so in this direction my depth of flow is going to change, and if I see here my depth of flow is decreasing in the direction of flow, so I have considered this short reach of the channel. So S0 is the bed slope of the channel, which is measured along the datum line. Z is the datum head, Y is the depth of flow, which is also known as potential head, and V square upon 2G is the kinetic head or velocity head. And after adding all those three together, I will get total energy, and if I join a different point of total energy, I will get this total energy line or energy line. And as this depth of flow is going to change along the length of the channel, obviously this energy is also going to change. As I am considering my depth of flow is going to change over the length of the channel, this energy is also going to change, and obviously my energy line is going to change. That means that I need to indicate its changes that I am indicating here by using this S of F, that is slope of energy line, that will be again measured with respect to a datum or with respect to a horizontal. Now if I want to write down the total energy line, total energy equation, so I can simply write here total energy is equal to Z plus Y plus V square upon 2G. This is our basic equation for the total energy. Now what we are considering here, gradually varied flow. If we are considering gradually varied flow, obviously depth of flow is going to change. So if those changes are going to take place in the X direction, in this rightward direction, then obviously if my Y is going to change, energy is going to change, and if both are going to change, obviously those both will become variable with respect to the X. So I can simply differentiate this equation with respect to X to get the proper analysis of the gradually varied flow, to derive the differential equation for the gradually varied flow. So I am simply going to differentiate the equation 1 with respect to the X. What I will get here, dE upon dx is equal to dz upon dx plus dy upon dx multiplied by d upon dx multiplied by v square, plus d upon dx multiplied by v square upon 2g. I can simply replace this v square with the q square upon a square. So after putting this q square upon a square in the equation, as we know what assumption we have made, discharge is constant, just taking out from the derivative, what equation we will get here, dE upon dx is equal to dz upon dx plus dy upon dx plus q square upon 2g multiplied by d upon dx multiplied by 1 upon a square. Here area will be the variable, because we know that area of flow is given by v multiplied by y, where our y is going to change. That means that we need to treat this a as a variable. So simply we are going to just determine this term d upon dx multiplied by 1 upon a square. So I will just simply take its derivative of 1 upon a square, which is coming at minus 2 upon a cube multiplied by dA upon dx. So this is the term what we are getting here by taking the derivative of 1 upon a square. So I can simply put this value in this equation. What we will get here, dE upon dx is equal to dz upon dx plus dy upon dx minus 2q square upon 2ga cube multiplied by dA upon dx, simply going to give us the equation number 2. Now this 2 will get cancelled, and whatever the rest of equation we have, dA upon dx is equal to dz upon dx plus dy upon dx multiplied by q square upon ga cube multiplied by dA upon dx. Now we will see what the meaning of those terms, dA upon dx, dz upon dx. So if you look at this equation, what is this dA upon dx? It is going to indicate that rate of change of energy over the distance x, or in the direction of x. That means that changes in the energy which is going to take place along the x direction. Now if I see here, my depth of flow is going to decrease along the direction of flow. That means that I can simply measure the rate of change of this energy along the x direction or in the x direction by using this slope. So I can simply replace this dA upon dx with the s of f. Now if I see here, my depth of flow decreases, that means that my energy is also going to decrease in the direction of flow. So I can simply write down it as minus s of f. Again, dz upon dx. What is dz upon dx? Dz upon dx is going to say that rate of change of diatom energy along the x direction. That means that I can simply replace it with bed slope. As it is decreasing in the direction of flow or in the x direction, that means that I can simply replace it with minus s of 0. Now dy upon dx. What is dy upon dx? It is the rate of change of y with respect to the x. That means that along the x direction. So what is y over? Y is the depth of flow. So depth of flow is going to change along the x direction. Now if you see here, this is our dy upon dx, which is going to represent the rate of change of depth of flow along the x direction. Now by putting all those values in the equation, what we will get here? So here it is, what I have discussed, dA upon dx can be replaced with the minus s of f, where negative sign indicates that it is decreasing in the x direction, or as x increases, it goes on decreases. dz upon dx can be replaced with the minus s of 0, as we know that in the downstream direction, slope always goes on decreases. So again I am going to indicate it as minus. dy upon dx is going to represent the change in water surface elevation along the x direction, or slope of water surface with respect to the bottom of the channel. Now by putting those values in the equation, what equation we will get here? dA upon dx is equal to minus s of x, dz upon dx is equal to minus s of 0, that is bottom slope, energy line slope, plus dy upon dx as it is, as we are going to deal with this, how the rate of depth of flow is going to change over the distance. So we are going to compute dy upon dx. Now minus q square upon ga cube multiplied by dA upon dx. So I can simply take this s of 0 on the left hand side, it will become plus. So equation will become s of 0 minus s of f is equal to dy upon dx minus q square upon ga cube multiplied by dA upon dx. Again I can simply just multiply this dA upon dx with the dy upon dx, and after multiplying it with, I can simply write down this equation as this term dA upon dx as dA upon dy multiplied by dy upon dx, because I am simply multiplying and divide it with the dy. So we know that dA upon dy is the rate of change of area with respect to the depth is equal to top width, that is t. So we can simply replace this dA upon dy with the top width t multiplied by dy upon dx. So this whole term dA upon dx can be replaced with the t multiplied by dy upon dx. So here I am simply going to put that value dA upon dy. Now whatever the rest of the things, dy upon dx will remain same. Now I can simply take this dy upon dx common, because we already have this dy upon dx, and in this equation we are getting one dy upon dx. So I can simply take this dy upon dx common. So what equation I will get here? S of 0 minus s of f is equal to dy upon dx 1 minus q square upon ga cube multiplied by t multiplied by whatever the dy upon dx we have already taken common. So what term we will get here? Q square t upon ga cube. So here there will be a q square t. So here it yet to be replaced. I haven't replaced it yet. So we are going to simply replace it with the t. So what equation we will get here for the dy upon dx, that is rate of change of depth along the x direction, is given by s of 0 minus s of f divided by 1 minus q square upon t, q square multiplied by t divided by ga cube, and this equation is known as dynamic equation of the GVF. So this is our final equation, or basic equation of the equation of the GVF, which is used for the analysis of the gradually varied flow. Now if you see here, what term we are getting here in the equation, q square multiplied by t divided by ga cube. Hope you remember this term. We have used the same term while we were discussing the critical flow, and at that time we have got the same term and which has replaced with the Froude number square. So this whole term will be equal to Froude number square because the value of this whole term at the critical flow condition is becoming 1. So we will just see how this q square t upon ga cube can be replaced with the Froude number. We will just revise our previous discussion here. So this term q square upon ga cube can be written as q square upon a square separately, multiplied by t multiplied by a, t divided by a multiplied by 1 upon g. So I can simply write down this t upon a is equal to 1 upon a upon t. So denominator of denominator will be nominator. So I am just simply doing some adjustment. This q square upon a square can be replaced with the v square 1 upon a divided by t. Now 1 upon a divided by t is the a upon t is the hydraulic depth. So I can simply replace it with the d. So I am replacing a upon t with the d. Here it is v square multiplied by 1 upon g. So simple equation what we are getting here, v square upon gd. What is this v square upon gd? We know that Froude number is given by v under root of g multiplied by d, hydraulic depth. So if I am taking square on both sides, so this will become square, this will become square, and this square root will get cancelled. So what equation we are getting here, fr square is equal to v square upon gd. So I am simply replacing this term q square t upon ga cube with the fr square by putting that value at the place of q square t upon ga cube. What equation we are getting here, dy upon dx is equal to s of 0 minus s of f divided by 1 minus fr square. So this is our basic equation of the GVF, which is also known as dynamic equation of the GVF, or also termed as differential equation of the GVF, as we are considering here dy upon dx. Now this dy upon dx is going to represent change in depth of flow along the x direction. So by computing this dy upon dx, we may get three different value, like say dy upon dx may equal to 0, dy upon dx may be greater than 0, or dy upon dx may less than 0. So let's discuss what the meaning of this three values. So when dy upon dx will equal to 0, that means that rate of change of depth or change in depth along the x direction is 0. If there is no change in depth, that means that y is equal to constant, and if y is equal to constant, we know that flow is no more remain gradually varied flow or non-uniform flow, it become uniform flow. So if dy upon dx is equal to 0, that means that flow is said to be a uniform. If my dy upon dx is greater than 0, that means that rate of change of depth along the x direction is positive. That means that my depth of flow is going to change along the x direction. So my y increases along the x direction. If my dy upon dx is negative, that means that my value of depth is going to decrease along the x direction. Now when this y increases along the x direction, that is known as backwater curve, and this backwater curve we have already discussed while discussing the example of dam. If any obstruction coming in the flow of the channel, in that case depth of flow increasing along the length of the channel, this is known as backwater curve. So whenever we are constructing dam, at that time there will be a generation of backwater curve. Now if this depth of flow decreases along the x direction, then it is known as drop down curve. So exactly after the obstruction, you can see there is a drop down curve in which depth of flow goes on decreasing along the x direction. So let's see some of the example of those drop down curve and backwater curve. So here are some figures showed. When dy upon dx is equal to 0, at that time depth of flow is not going to change over the length, and obviously our depth of flow is constant, that is going to represent uniform flow. Again, if depth of flow is going to change, and if it is positive, that means the depth of flow goes on increasing. So here it is dam. In this figure it is shown that, and depth of flow increasing along the x direction, and that's what backwater curve has been formed here. And you can see here the afflex, whatever the difference between the depth of flow before the backwater curve and after the backwater curve, whatever the difference between those two, that is increasing the depth of flow due to the construction of dam, that is known as afflux. And in this figure you can see here the depth of flow decreasing along the x direction. Hope you understood all those three values of the dy upon dx, possible values of the dy upon dx, and hope you understood the derivation of the differential equation of the GVF. Those are the references which I have used while preparing my presentation. Thank you for watching.